GDPs.
Hey, it's your boy Says You Know What It Is. Hey, so we just came onto the monitor just to kind of see what's up. We see 56, it's been default, not really, it's been dead really. It's got temp, got some voltage. The voltage looks a lot higher than the other ones. I'm not sure why it's at that. The clock's still at 0, but then we also notice here that our hash rate has dropped considerably, about 600 gigs. I'm taking a look at our chips. A lot of these here on board too, they're all sitting at 800. I think it's in some sort of a safe mode or something. You see this chip 55 is at 1150. All of these should be at 1150. Not sure why, but what we're going to do is see how this goes. You can see that it was, I don't know, probably about 2 hours ago we were running at 6336 on the gigahash, which is, I don't know, I've been kind of looking at Unmineable and seeing that there has been some fluctuations. It's been really interesting in how much fluctuation as far as the hash has been going. But we're going to do a factory reset, see what happens with that, and see if board 2 can come back to life with a factory reset. Because before it was that whole board, for some reason, just out of nowhere, decided not to operate correctly at all. So we're going to let that probably take about 10 minutes for that to come back online, see how it does. Now, if that board 2 is back to doing absolutely nothing, then we'll go ahead and do the upgrade firmware again and then just roll with why that board 2 is doing what it's doing, why the fluctuations, why it's running down the hash rate from 1150 down to 800 in some sort of a safe mode. I'm not sure, but run it that way because there's nothing else other that I could think of that we can do besides send it in. It costs a lot of money to send it in, plus you're missing out on hash rate, which would really hurt Gem if we didn't have this machine running, because it's the biggest machine that we have running right now. And at this point, the private investors' machines aren't online yet, and it would just put a hurt on the project. Even though the holders are really great and they would understand, risk to reward ratio is not good in my book. So we'll sit back, see how this thing unfolds in a minute. You ever heard the saying, leave well enough alone? That's what happened to us here on this with the IceRiver monitor tool and board 2 on the KS3M Limpy. I'm calling it Limpy now. We went ahead, we did a factory reset to see if we could get those chips to come back up to a normal 1150 on the clock, and they did not. They ran the same way that they were running before on the upgraded firmware, and then I decided, well, I probably want to keep it on the upgraded firmware. And when I went ahead and updated the firmware, because it didn't show anything different when I did the factory reset, it was still showing the same clock, the same scenario inside the monitor tool, that board 2 went back to being default. All the chips aren't running now on it. Should have left well enough alone when they came back to life. So after about 3 hours on the factory reset, I went ahead and what did I do? I don't even know where I'm at right now. I don't know if I'm on the factory or if I'm in the upgrade right now, because I went back and forth and it was still at showing nothing. So that's interesting. I should probably see if there's a way that I can check to see what firmware I'm actually running inside the mining settings, Defi settings. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to check what firmware is being ran once you put it into the system. But anyway, yeah, that board's still not showing up. I'll just have to let it roll, I guess, for a while and see what happens. But anyway, hope you're having a good day. Alright, okay, I can see that the firmware version's right here on the monitor tool. And now looks like I'm at factory. the KS3M underscore miner. Let me see here, I'm having an issue with my Explorer Windows miner stuff. Okay, the new firmware is the ICM 168210. So I'm probably going to put that back on there, put the upgraded firmware on, and leave it there. Anyway, yep. Alright, well, I was going to bring up the monitor to show you guys kind of what's going on. But unfortunately, I can't log in to the KS3M. I'm calling him Limpy now because board 2 is acting funny, and we reloaded the upgraded firmware, and now board 1's normal, board 3 is normal as per usual. Board 2 is like a little more than half the chips were working fine, but now there's like chip 56 or something through, no, 46 through 56, if I remember correctly. They're all just defaulted out, and then it's just doing funky stuff like the Unmineable doesn't go back far enough. It only shows the last 24 hours of hash rate, but you can see here where we're coming across here, we're extremely low for the KS3M because, of course, board 2, those chips that were actually running on it went from 1150 down to like 800 to 600. The clock fluctuating to protect itself because it's having chip issues and default issues and voltage issues and all kinds of issues there on board 2. So came to the conclusion that we're going to ship the KS3M to the service repair for IceRiver in Hong Kong again. You have it fixed, and it is what it is. Be gone for like a month or whatever, and we just got to do it. We got to get that board fixed before things really start ramping up. If we're going to do it, we got to do it now. So anyway, that's the update on that. The private investor side of things is looking really good. Just had another send off of funds that were collected from those running at the host site, and a buy from the private investor after fees from the hosting site. That puts the private investor at over 7,000 paid back, and the private investor is now using funds to buy gem, and at 5,500 gem will turn those machines over to burn to the gem miner burn pool, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be probably about 3 times what we've been getting when the KS3M and the other miners in the fleet that the community has put together is running. So that's going to be epic. But anyway, kind of bummed about the KS3M Limpy and what's going on with it and sending it back, but it is what it is. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. Yee!
Jsizzl. 425 win.